Hi, I'm Claire from Wild Ginger Running, author of the Ultimate Trail Running Handbook, and I have been on the hunt for wide fit trail running shoes that let your toes splay in a natural way. I've become increasingly alarmed by the way my little toe gets scrunched in by certain running shoes. Do you suffer with this too? Let me know in the comments below. So here are my 4 favourite wide toe box trail running shoes, including the Altra Timp 4 and the Topo Mtn Racer 2, the Inov-8 Parkclaw 260 knit, and the Sportiva Karacal, plus a quick mention of 6 other trail shoes that I've found to have roomier toe boxes. And if you fancy buying any of these trail running shoes, please use my affiliate links in the film description below, and please click like and subscribe to the channel. It's free, so you don't miss out on any more gear reviews and training advice from Wild Ginger Running. The Altra Timp 4s retail at £140, which is now the average price for a trail running shoe in 2022. Terrifying, I know. They weigh 533 grams for a pair of UK size 6.5s, which is pretty average too. I was a little trepidatious to test out the Timp 4s because every Altra shoe is 0 drop, which means it's cushioned but with no heel stack, as drop refers to the height difference between the heel and the toe of a shoe. The last time that I moved into 0 drop shoes too quickly, I injured myself, and I still regularly have to beat back bouts of plantar fasciitis from this era, so I started with short runs and walks in the Timp 4s. So then, obviously, don't try this at home, folks. Everything was going well, so the following week I ran 10 miles in them with 0 problems, so that's great. Actually, doing my strengthening exercises must be paying off. So click here to learn more about the drop of a shoe and why you should be cautious about going too low too soon. The sizing of the Timp 4s is spot on. They're really comfy straight from the box, but the laces are super long. They're flat, not stretchy, which is good, and they hold the foot in place brilliantly, but I have to triple knot them and they're still flapping around, so I might change them for some shorter ones. It's not really the biggest deal, but it's strange how long they are. The fit is really nice, and once you've got those laces pulled in tight, the foot feels brilliantly snug, and Altra's characteristic foot-shaped wide toe box allows your feet to splay naturally and comfortably. I really like this. No more little toe rub or toe squash blisters. If you read the online reviews about this shoe, quite a few people are really hating on the tongue, saying that it's too long and uncomfortable, especially with low-cut socks. So I never wear low-cut socks trail running, so I found the tongue to be very comfy, and I found no slippage issues either. I genuinely have no idea what those people are talking about, as I found the tongue very comfortable on the Timp 4s. The cushioning though, Altra's Ego Max midsole foam isn't as bouncy as, like, say, the Hoka Speedgoat 5s. I'll be adding a review of them soon. In contrast, the Timp 4's cushioning feels like a nice protective thick pad underfoot rather than offering a huge amount of rebound, which I actually don't mind. The shoe is not constantly badgering you to run faster, it just wants you to kick back and enjoy the trails. I've only run about 50 miles in these, and already the once 4mm lugs in the centre of the Max Trap Grip outsole seems to have worn down a little bit, and so they're not going to dig into super deep mud, but they'll be great for use on lots of different tracks and trails, and I'd say the Timp 4s are a good road to trail mixed terrain trail running shoe. Usefully, they also have a gaiter ring and a Velcro attachment at the heel, and a large loop that you can actually get your finger through for ease of getting them on and off, which is a really good feature. So the verdict: if I can keep wearing these with no foot issues from the 0 drop, I will be one happy runner. I'll keep you posted on that padding, so message me in the comments below for a longer term opinion on the cushioning. But at the moment, while these aren't the best for trail grip, they're amazing for runners with wider feet that can cope with a 0 drop trail shoe, so hunt out your ankle length socks and try on a pair of Altra Timp 4s. The Topo Mtn Racer 2s retail at £140, which is today's average price, and they're on the lighter side at 498 grams for a pair of UK size 6.5s. The sizing is spot on, they're comfy straight from the box, and the fit is super awesome. The Mtn Racer 2s cup the heel and wrap the foot really nicely, and they suit my feet in particular because of the specifically designed extra wide toe box, which features in all Topo shoes. Along with the Altra Timp 4s, these have the widest toe box in this review. Unlike the Altra Timp 4s, however, the drop is 5mm, which is still a bit lower than the 8mm that I'm used to running, so I have also been easing into these gently. It's great that Topo make this 5mm drop shoe, as Altra, as I've just mentioned, the other main wide fit brand for runners, only make zero drop shoes, which don't suit everyone. So what are you supposed to do while you're transitioning down to zero drop? Altra did not think that one through, did they? Come on, Altra, a 5mm drop transition shoe, please. Anyway, back to the Topo Mtn Racer 2. The cushioning is their zip foam, and although it's padded, it's not thick or bouncy at all. And the advantage of that is that you feel more of the terrain underfoot for a very responsive, natural ride, which I like. But after about 8 miles in these, my feet were aching. So personally, I like a little more padding and support from a trail shoe. The grip is the always trustworthy Vibram Mega Grip, which I really rate highly on wet and dry terrain of all types, and the 5mm lugs are spaced widely to allow mud to shed rather than build up. The Mtn Racer also has a couple of holes in the back here and a loop on the front lace to attach their specific debris grater to as well. It's a nice touch, but it does mean that you have to get the Topo ones, which come in 2 sizes and cost around £30 rather than just a generic cheapo gaiter. Verdict. So the Topo Mtn Racer 2s are a fantastic shoe for runners who want a really wide toe box and to feel and respond naturally to the trail underfoot. The lack of padding and 5mm drop does mean that you have to have a strong foot to wear them for longer distances and rockier trails, and these would be my favourite shoe if Topo made a more cushioned, more protective version. The Inov-8 Parkclaw 260 knit trail running shoes retail for £125, which is great value in today's market, and they weigh a very light 465 grams for a pair in UK size 6.5. They're true to size and they're comfortable as soon as you put them on your feet. The fit is nice and wide at the toe box, registering a 5 out of 5 on Inov-8's wideness scale. The knitted upper is very comfortable. The tongue is thick and nicely padded, but the Parkclaw 260 knits are quite low slung around the ankle, so they don't fit as snugly around the rear end of the foot as the narrower toe boxed Inov-8 Parkclaw G280 in this review here. The laces are also strangely short, so it's actually quite hard to tie them, and even harder to get a double knot tied, which I always do to reduce unlacing opportunities in a race or a training run. Maybe I'll swap these laces for the Altra Timp 4s and see what happens. The drop is 8mm, which is great for those used to a higher heel stack of a traditional road running shoe, and the Power Flow plus cushioning is a great balance between protection and trail feel, along with Inov-8's new Boomerang footbed, which they say gives 40% more bounce than a standard footbed. I cannot verify this scientifically, but running in these, I found they give good rebound on both road and trails, and these little TPU bubbles do feel extra bouncy. The grip consists of 4mm lugs designed for both road and trail. They're good for biting into a fair amount of mud without compromising on comfort on harder packed trails and roads, so Inov-8 has created a really good all-rounder here. Verdict. These are really light, grippy road to trail shoes for wide-footed runners who want a decent amount of padding but still want to feel the trail underfoot, and at only £125, they're great value too. I've seen them on sportshoes.com recently for £80 too. Wow, you're 3 shoes in. Thanks for watching. I hope this review is helping you out. And if you're feeling really generous, consider buying me a virtual pint using my new super thanks button below. You could also become a member on YouTube or support me on Patreon here. Thank you. And now for the 2 final pairs of wide fit trail running shoes. The La Sportiva Karacals are slightly lower than average price at £130, and they weigh a very average 530 grams for a pair of UK size 6.5s. The sizing is spot on, the fit is wonderfully snug around the midfoot and the heel, and the uppers feel very durable. I really feel like the foot is securely in place with this wide beefy tongue, while the toe box is really nice and roomy. So for me, there's a slight issue with the Ortholite footbed. It rubs my arch after about an hour's running, but a quick swap to a different insole like the Inov-8 Boomerang solves that problem really quickly. I often find this with Ortholite insoles for some reason, despite the fact that they're designed for runners. Unfortunately, less solvable is the front of the lace area here, where it folds downwards and it jabs my left foot after I've tightened it. So this is a real shame, because otherwise I'd be running miles and miles in these super comfy shoes. The right foot is fine as it's slightly smaller. How annoying. The drop is 7mm, which is rare. The majority seem to be 8 or 4mm, but you probably won't notice much difference from the 8mm in all honesty. So it's good for folks coming from a traditionally heel stacked trail running trainers. The cushioning is Memlex Eva with shock absorbing injection, and this gives a stable, padded yet responsive ride with, I found, enough protection for the rockier parts of the trails too. I find it a good balance of support and cushioning without blocking out the feeling of the trail beneath your feet. Grip-wise, the Friction Blue works really well with 4mm deep lugs, and it seems really durable too, as does the whole shoe really. So the verdict. The Karacal feels so comfy in all areas apart from this little bit here that digs in. So I'm very jealous if this shoe fits your foot perfectly, which it will for a lot of you, because this is otherwise a fantastic trail running shoe for wide-toed, long-distance trail runners with a good balance of cushioning, protection and trail feel. So I hope my review of wide fit trail running shoes was helpful. Which one will you go for, or have you got a pair already? Let me know in the comments below. So my favourites so far are the Altra Timp 4s for their awesome wide fit with more padding than the Topo Mtn Racer 2s. I just need to change those laces, and I wish they made a 5mm drop shoe, as I'm worried about my plantar fasciitis coming back too. Before I go, here are 6 other shoes that I found fairly wide fitting. So firstly, the On Running Cloud Ultra and the Saucony Peregrine 12s. And then possibly, because these came up a little large size-wise, the Brooks Cascadia 16, the Merrell Agility Peak 4, the Arc'teryx Norvan LD3 and the Salomon Sense Ride 4. So 3 of these feature in my Road to Trail Running shoe review here. Remember to like and subscribe this film to support the channel, hit the super thanks button, buy my book, The Ultimate Trail Running Handbook here, or support me on Patreon for the chance to win over £400 worth of trail running gear every single month. All these things plus links to all the shoes are also in the film description below. So thanks for watching, see you on the trails, possibly in a pair of wide fit shoes.